Shauna Davis, the Epicurean Connection, and thank you for joining our Cheese Chat. I'm located here in Sonoma, California, and today we're honored to have two fantastic people from Wisconsin, George and Debbie Crave of Crave Brothers Farmstead Cheese. And they graciously sent us this beautiful selection of cheeses, which George and Debbie, I hope you'll guide us through today. So welcome, George and Debbie.
Well, thanks for having us. It'll be fun to talk a little bit about what we do here at Crave Brothers on the farm and the cheese factory, and then we'll talk about some of the cheeses, and anyone that has any questions about what we do and at the cheese factory here, be happy to have that conversation.
Welcome. So please do share the history of your farm and your farmstead, how you manage your cows, how you dance with your cows.
Yeah.
How many generations are actually working within your farm itself?
Sure. Well, myself and my three brothers are really the first generation to farm here at our current location in Waterloo, Wisconsin, which is south central Wisconsin. It's right between Mass and Milwaukee. We grew up on a farm right on the Illinois line in Beloit, Wisconsin, but my dad sold our cows in 1974, and we went on to working for neighbors, and were able to start up again on a small farm. And make a long story short, 43 short years later, we farm here in Waterloo. Our children are in business with us. Our niece Beth is in business with us, and we've really grown to a very diverse operation where we farm the land, we grow the crops, we feed the cows, and then we pipeline the milk from the farm underground to the cheese factory, where we make fresh mozzarella, mascarpone cream cheese, Queso Oaxaca, farmer's rope string cheese, and our Wisconsin squeaky cheese curds.
I love Wisconsin squeaky cheese curds, by the way.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, we just made some this morning again. We made yellow curds this morning on Thursday. And what makes them really fresh is we make them and we take them out of the vat. We put them in big bags, and the truck's waiting at the dock, and they distribute them to all the local stores that have signs out in front that say fresh curds this morning. And people line up to stop and get their fresh squeaky curds. So that's the way it works here in Wisconsin.
You know, we don't have fresh squeaky curds anymore in Sonoma. We used to have two places, and they no longer produce fresh squeaky curds anymore. The new generation decided it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of work. It's really made to order. You have to start, kind of throws our schedule out of whack, because we have to make those right away because they're cultured, and it does get a little bit in the way of keeping our schedule with our fresh mozz and our Oaxaca and everything else. But we just think it's worth it to have that. It's all sold so locally here that it's really good for us to have that real local presence in our markets.
Oh, that's great. Your community is lucky to have all those fresh cheese curds for sure.
Right. Yeah.
No. So on your farm, how many animals do you have on your farm currently?
Well, we're not a typical Little Red Barn, Wisconsin farm, and there's not many of those around anymore. But we milk about 2,200 cows 3 times a day, and then we of course have the baby calves and the young stock that are going to grow up to be the cows of the future. So between all those, we have around a little over 3,000 head that we have on our farm and a neighboring farm. That's amazing. Yeah, we started, my dad milked 35 cows when I was a kid. We'd milk them and make 12 to 1,500 pounds of milk a day off of those cows, get about 45 pounds a cow, and, whole generation later and learning, getting better cows and better feed and better management and better housing. And now we produce about a little over 3.5 semi-loads of milk a day on our farm. Well, congratulations to you and your family for that. That's success in the dairy business. Well, yeah, it's kind of funny how you end up, everybody says, did you dream about this? And I just wanted to have 100 really good cows when I started farming with my brother Charlie. My goal is to have 100 really good cows. So I guess I've met my goal. We do have 100 really good cows. Well, thank you for sharing how many cows, and they're pasture fed in the summer, and then do you grain feed them in the winter? Well, we feed a total mixed ration, which takes all the hay and the corn and the soybeans and the wheat and the straw and everything that we have, and a lot of byproducts too. A lot of people don't realize that when you drink beer, that came from grain. When you have mayonnaise and everything else, wine, Sheena, and all those other products, there's always byproducts. There's citrus pulp and beet pulp and brewer's grain and malt sprouts and wheat midge and cottonseed that come from all of our other ingredients that you have on your shelves and in your pantry. We have those byproducts that come back and feed our cows also. California, I just saw a recent study that said that about 35% of California's cows' diet comes from byproduct feeds or co-products from other manufacturing practices that they take the value out of them for higher end use, and what's left over, the hulls, the pulp, go back to the farms and fed back to the cows. So that's really super recycling.
That's California for sure, in a nutshell.
Yeah, and we do that here in Wisconsin too. We have the brewers, the brewery right in Milwaukee. We have the milling up in Minneapolis and over in Iowa that we bring a lot of those products in from those areas that are fed to our cows also. It's a balance.
I bet your ladies love it.
Yeah, it adds some different flavors. It adds some moisture, and it really balances the ration because we really fine tune what the cows are eating now, and that really contributes to being efficient for production and the environment.
That's great. Congratulations on incorporating your neighbors and the community into your feed process.
Well, it's just really how farmers are doing it now. We really have changed how we do it, and with the type of farm we have and the way we house our cows and feed them, it really does work well. The summertime when the grass is growing and we don't have a drought or it's too hot, the cows do go out on grass and pasture on some of our rougher ground. But by and large, they're fed all the feed that we harvest and have in storage.
Oh, that's great. So you have a solid dairy production. Now you move into your cheese production.
Right.
So how many weeks a week do you make cheese and how many varieties?
Right. Well, when you ask me about the cows and the farming, I go right to it because that really is in my DNA. That's really where I started, and it's what I did up until 20 years ago. So when everyone wants to know about how things are going, I'm like, do you want to talk about the corn? Or you want to talk about cows or calves or, the rain, or what are we talking about? No, I want to talk about the cheese. So here you go, Sheena, you're changing the subject. So now we'll talk.
No, you can keep talking farm as long as you want. I got to know, I just got my first order of Wisconsin cranberries. Do you get anything?
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, they're grown in Wisconsin too. It's a very big product that comes out of central Wisconsin. Very nice, really unique way of producing cranberries also. So that's always a great story. What we have is when we milk the cows, we refrigerate the milk and store it at the farm. And then once a day, we swing a few valves and directly pipeline it over to the cheese factory underground, 320 feet from the farm. I'm looking out the window right now at the farm, and the pipeline comes right over, and we bring the milk over, and we make our fresh mozzarella is one of our big cheeses. The other one is the Queso Oaxaca, braided string cheese that goes into many markets in different sizes and shapes. Who would think that we'd make a volleyball sized piece of cheese, but we make thousands of them a day, and really a unique item that we never dreamed of producing or making when we started the cheese business. But one variety leads into another. So most of our production is pasta filata, which is the melted and formed cheese. Provolone and mozzarella and fresh mozzarella are all called pasta filatas. So that's what we make there. And then we take some of the cream off the milk before we make the Oaxaca, and we make our sweet cream mascarpone, which is award-winning American Cheese Society best mascarpone, U.S. Cheese Championships, top mascarpone. Fresh mozzarella has also been very highly decorated also. So we're real proud of the quality we produce here.
Congratulations on your awards and accolades.
Thanks. It's always fun. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. You say you don't care, it's just another competition. But then when they come down to announcing, you're sitting on your leaning forward in your seat. So when you announce your name, it's always a reassurance and a validation of what we really do here.
Absolutely. And especially if you're in the World Cheese Championship, that means you went up against everyone in the world. And
right.
To take on an award is admirable.
Right. Yeah, it's very fulfilling. And we bring those awards back to our team here. We have about 45 employees, 50 employees, and we bring them back. We show them what we did. We tell them it's their cheese that they won the awards on, and we thank them for that. And we always go downtown and buy a couple big cakes to put in the break room for everyone to enjoy.
Nice. Would you like to share the cheeses that you sent with us today?
Sure. Well, let's start with the string cheese or the farmer's rope. String, it's rolled up and it's extruded where all the proteins line up, and it is a big piece of string cheese. It's great for snacking. People always, when we started making it, people say, "Oh, Mr. Crave, you make the best string cheese." And I'm like, "Really? You know, it's string cheese," but turns out it's a big product that we do make, and we roll it up, and we call it farmer's rope just because we don't sell it in individual pieces or string. It's more larger diameter, and then we roll it up in kind of like a rope or a lariat, and that's why we call it our farmer's rope. So if you want, you can
That's good to know how you named it. Okay.
yeah, you can just string it, and it strings really good. You know, right down. Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. And one of my cheese quizzes that I always, if you were here live, I'd be doing that, and I'd say, what makes cheese string? And people hee-haw around, and really what it is the proteins of the molecule that are all laid this way, but when you heat them and extrude them, it gives them a chance to move, and they lay like a box of magnets. And box of magnets never lay like this. They always lay like that. And of course, molecule little magnets, if you remember from science class or anything like that. I don't, but that's what I've learned since then. But there are like little magnets, and they all lay side by side. So when you pull them, they string. You can't string it sideways. You can only string it lengthways. It's almost like the fibers in a board, the fibers in a 2x4. You can't split it crossways, but you can split it lengthways.
Oh, you see what I learned today? I would not have had the answer. I would have had the M and all.
Yeah, well, you had to read one of your cheese books.
I'll keep reading them. I'm never too young to learn.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I mean, I want to learn and learn every day.
Kids be our age, you learn every day, because it seems like you forgot what we learned yesterday. So that's what I lean on.
This is delicious, and I know my daughter and my husband and I will devour it appropriately.
Yeah. Well, one of the best compliments we ever had was probably 10, 12 years ago at American Cheese Society, and we won first place mozzarella with that cheese. And one of the judges came up to me afterwards, and he said, "George, your mozzarella isn't only good mozzarella." He said, "It's good cheese," which mozzarella can be a little plain, a little bit uneventful, but it does have a good cheesy flavor to it.
No, I like the balance. Has a little bite of salt, has some texture and some flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, when it's young, it has a nice little snap to it.
I'm just going to share, Sheena. Here I am, Debbie here. A recipe idea. Sure, you should just snack with that and eat it straight up. But if you want to make some small strings like you are, tie them in a knot like you are, then put those on tomato soup. Just rest in your soup. So it's really fun to make the garnish be a skinny little piece of the rope end.
I just made cream of tomato soup today.
Good. There you go.
I know what we'll put on our soup for dinner this evening.
Yes.
Yep.
There you go.
Tie them up in a little bow and put them right a couple of months.
Fantastic suggestion, Debbie. Thank you. Okay. And so we also, my husband said he wants to know if he can cut it and deep fry it. So he's going to make little cheese curds tonight.
Yeah, you can. And I always advise people not to eat cold cheese. Always let it either warm up to room temperature or throw it in a microwave for 10, 15 seconds, depending on the size. And that makes it all softer and a little bit more gooey, and just makes it much more flavorful. So yeah, he's welcome to chop it up. And if you have a deep fryer, you can deep fry it or microwave it. Makes it so much better.
We're going to try it.
If you like it cold, you'll really love it warm.
Well, we pulled this out about 3 hours ago. So it's been sitting out at room temperature since about 9 o'clock our time.
Okay. So it's a little bit warmer, so it has a little more flavor, a little easier to string.
Easy to pull apart.
Yep. But you can see it string. It'll just keep stringing and stringing and stringing.
This could keep small children entertained for hours.
Yeah. I'm kind of worried about you, Sheena. Put it down now.
Okay, so cheese curds.
Yeah, cheese curds are right there. Those are the cheese curds. Those are the white curds. We make two different types. We have the white and the yellow. And as I say, we sell a lot of them to very local.
They smell delicious.
Yeah, they're really good. And if you warm them up a little bit, they're really, really tasty. Again, the chewy gooiness. And once again, what we love to do is when you make chili, now that it's getting a little bit more fall and winter weather, you drop those in some chili, some nice hot chili, and you put some of the curds in there and let them rest in the chili for a couple minutes, and they warm up and get gooey, and it gives you great different texture, with the chili or the different soups. Gives you something to chew on. It's chewy and squeaky while you're enjoying your soups or your chili. So really work well that way also. Also, when you're making an omelet, throw them in the pan, let them fry up a little bit, and let them warm up, you know, and then drop your eggs over the top of them, and makes a terrific omelet. And even when you toast them a little bit in a pan, when you're warming them up and they get a little bit of a toast on the edges, that little caramelization really adds a lot of flavor, and then you slice them off onto a cheeseburger that way also. So a lot of different the curds.
I wish you and Debbie were closer. I'd share some of the cream of tomato soup with your string cheese. I'd share some. We have a chorizo black bean chili this week here at our cafe, which with the cheese curds would be nice and spicy, but this would melt beautifully.
Oh, yes, we'll try it out on something in the next day or two. It really.
Well, when we can all travel again, I'll have you and Debbie over for lunch here, and you can try them all.
Right. You cook it up, and we'll bring the cheese, and you probably have some wine out there in Sonoma, so
Just a little
bit. That's okay.
And some beer and wine.
All right, good.
No, these are delicious, and I can't wait to try and put them on the chili maybe tomorrow, because we're having the tomato soup for dinner tonight.
Okay.
But we have all kind of, we cook and cook and cook, and then we open tomorrow, and then we sell out like your cheese curds. We sell out by the end of the day
Okay.
of everything, all the prepared foods and whatever we can get in the case.
Good for you.
I might spoil a couple guests and tease them by putting your cheese curd on it just to see what they think.
Right. No, it's a good little test run. You have the opportunity to make different things and have people give you input immediately. So that's always good way to get feedback.
Well, those are delicious. Thank you for sharing those.
You're welcome.
And they all arrived, I have to say, perfectly. Your box with the ice packs and the packaging, everything arrived. Your box look is in great shape from your ice packs, and everything arrived cold and in good shape. So congratulations on whoever is managing your shipping and packaging.
Yeah, well, Debbie and our niece Beth, and they developed the box several years ago, and now our daughter Roseanne, she's a senior and a half in Madison, and she comes home on Wednesdays, and she'll take care of any gift box orders that we've taken, and she loves that. She gets out the old fake grass or the plastic grass and the cups and puts them all in there, and we always include a little brochure of what we do and who we are and how we farm and why we do what we do. And another great part of our story to break up the cheese sampling is our green story, where we have a methane digester. Take waste from the farm and the cheese factory, and we ferment out the methane, capture it, and power a huge internal combustion engine, a big engine that you'd have like in your car, only it's a great big one. And it turns an electromagnetic generator that generates enough electricity to power the farm, the cheese factory, and about 300 homes in our community.
That's amazing.
Bring that methane emissions, we're burning them off and producing electricity that's again another local product that we're using here on our farm, the cheese factory, in our community. So it's really a big deal now. We'll see if it's a bigger deal where people want green energy. The problem with green energy is that people aren't willing to pay more for it or subsidize it. We're not looking for subsidies, but we just think that the power company should be paying a little bit more for green energy if that's what we're really all about. So that's my political pitch for tonight. Boom. That's all. So that's what we do. So all of our cheese, we like to say, is produced with renewable energy. And Debbie has a nice sign. She can talk about that for a minute.
Just grab it. I'll just show it.
Oh, please.
Show it.
There you go.
And we have a nice cow that has a green leaf on her tail, and we have that on all our packages. If you look at our packages, Sheena, you'll see that little emblem that
Oh, there
says,
she is.
"Yep, produced with renewable energy." And we love telling that story and think
That's
it's
great.
really important that people want to know how we farm and what we do and what makes us kind of a full circle farm and business. That's really what we do.
That's great. And especially not only is it producing energy for your farm, but also for 300 homes in your community.
Right. Yeah, when we look out the windows at night with all the lights that are on, that electricity a lot of it's being generated right here on our farm. It goes back on the power grid that goes up and down the roads. Okay.
Is Debbie going to come in?
No, you can taste some more cheese.
She says, keep eating.
He took my story. That's fine.
Which one should I go to next, George?
Let's try the mozzarella.
mozzarella. I got.
Or no, the, what do you have? You have marinade there?
The marinated mozzarella, yes.
Yep, try the fresh mozz marinated. Yeah, we make a really nice marinated. We make a lot of the Ciliginis, Perlinis, medallions, bocconcini, golf ball size, ovalinis, 8-ounce balls, 1-pound logs, 5-pound loaves. We make curds that we sell the curds for other people to make cheese out of. So we have the marinade is very popular, and we find it's popular in the wintertime more so, because of course we know the big ramp up of mozzarella in the summertime with salads and lighter eating. But the wintertime, you take it just like you did there, Sheena, and open it up, you take a toothpick and you're ready to go. So it's really, if you have a toothpick and you can open a cup, you have an appetizer. So now okay, so you're ready to go. You can put it on a bruschetta, right? My half Italian wife, bruschetta, and it really makes a trip. And again, you can melt it down a little bit. You have the oil that you can use as a dressing in a salad or on to dress your bread. And
absolutely brush the Christine oil.
Pull a little bit of the herbs off the bottom there.
I'm going to tell you a fun application while you're stirring away there. Maybe you know shakshuka. It's a Mediterranean style tomato dish. I'd never heard of it until we had this wonderful recipe contest, and a food editor entered shakshuka. She took the marinated Ciliegini balls and put them in her shakshuka instead of feta. And then she took the marinade and brushed it on toast, served right along with it. So it was such a wonderful, fun, hearty breakfast dish or a main dish. But right now, with everyone staying home more and cooking more, we know that hearty breakfasts and breakfast foods are more popular. So I'm telling you, the marinated fresh mozzarella isn't just an appetizer cheese or a salad. Go ahead and put the little balls, the flavorful balls in your shakshuka. Try to find that recipe, or we have one on our website, and then take that marinade, use it on toast afterwards. So we just have so much fun with it. It's also fun on a cheese board, which is trendy, don't we know?
Right. I can put that recipe up on our website and on the YouTube cheese chat. I can either find it on your website, or if you email it, I'll add it to the link. So people, I'll just add the recipe link so people can go look at the recipe. That sounds delicious.
We'll send it to you. It's also on our website, cravecheese.com.
I love using the little mozzarella balls cut in half and tossing them in baked pastas. That's one of our favorite family meals.
Right. You know,
the marinated olive oil would be just perfect.
Yes. Yeah. You dress the little bit of the pasta with a little bit of the oil, and you're making me hungry already. See, this is it's almost supper time here. So.
Right. And thank you for joining us so later in your day.
That's all right.
And thank you for rescheduling due to California living. You know, once we get through wildfires, power outages, and who knows what, we had our first rain 3 days ago. It was barely a mist, but you would have thought the gods had rained on us because it cleared the air. So we're so happy.
Yeah, no, you've had a tough go out there. So,
but we still do it and we still make it. And I am skilled now in generators. It's my newest skill. I could get a new job on setting up generators.
Right. Yeah. Keep the lights on, keep the water. Well, you probably have city water. So if a city has power, then you can.
Our warehouse is city, but my parents and house are not. So we have everybody set up on generators just for that backup. And as my parents are older, I want to make sure they're set up first.
Right.
And then we trickle down the list. So,
good. But
we're just glad that we're continuing to produce and to be open. And the cheese chats have become one of my favorite times of the week to be able to reach out and see you and Debbie. And the motto became cheese chats, creating community through cheese. Because none of us are at the World Cheese Championships. We're not at ACS. We're not at Fancy Food Show. And so this was my small way of bringing us all back together and trying to create that community through cheese.
Right. Well, we appreciate that. And the Zooms are working. We would rather be, out in San Francisco in January and seeing our friends face to face, but those days will come back. And when they come back, we're going to get at it really, really diligently. I know that we're
We're gonna be so excited to be standing at your Wisconsin cheese booth, like no tomorrow when the day comes.
Yeah, no, we're all going to leave home. I don't know if we'll go back for a while after we've been locked down like this, but
Right.
we're all just to get out and see each other. And then of course, having our tours back, coming back to Wisconsin and visiting us and seeing what we do here and going down to our tasting room, and love showing our appetizers and showing videos of what we do at the farm. And then when we also have people come to the farm, and we're building a new milking barn right now.
Oh, congratulations.
See the cows being milked. And so it's always a good tour.
Well, I look forward to coming on the tour again. It's been many years since Marilyn Wilkinson took me on a tour.
Right.
So
right.
that does set a time frame.
Yes. Okay, well, let's try some mascarpone.
You got it.
You got plain and chocolate or just plain?
I'm all open both. They have them both right here.
Well, there's your plain. Okay, let's try the plain first.
I'm gonna get wait, I don't want any olive oil on my.
Yeah, get your oil out of the way. So we take the cream off of the milk before it goes to the vats, gets pasteurized, goes through a separator, separates some of the cream off the milk, and that sweet cream goes right into another little tank, and we process it up and cook it up and then cup it. And really a really good mascarpone has a very good sweet cream flavor. When we cook it up, you're condensing that lactic, that milk sugar, and a little bit of that caramel flavor. And it's just a fabulous mascarpone. So smooth, so sweet, melts away, not gritty, not greasy, and melts.
Don't leave any film on your palate.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you that a judge at the American Cheese Society described it as the epitome of decadence. And I'm quoting that person. I couldn't read their writing to know which judge, but I guess what's important to know is it was a fun quote and a nice testimony.
That's a great quote.
The quality. Again, on our website, we have so many fun recipe ideas that are sweet and savory for our mascarpone, because we're so beyond tiramisu. I know that's what everyone thinks of first, and I'm Italian, so I respect tiramisu, but it's a lot of work, and I think there's so many more fun things to do with mascarpone.
I agree.
What do you like to do with mascarpone?
We actually, in the summertime, we hull out strawberries and pipe in the mascarpone as an appetizer or a dessert. And so I do a lot of grilled peaches. And then, we pull the pit out, but we also hull a little bit further out and then put the mascarpone in and then brulee it. So we use a little butane burner to brulee we use one of these.
Yeah.
And you brulee it, gives a little caramelization on top. So I'm just envisioning the chocolate and the peach or the strawberry or the cherry.
Yeah. Well, wait, go ahead and taste that.
And because of the abundance of fruit we have here, fruit seems to come up.
Right, right.
I would eat that.
Yeah, we've played around when we're making, and some people want some cheese for an event, so what do? You send them mozzarella balls or string cheese? No, so we get a little creative. So we go and grab a few bourbons and liqueurs and, raspberry liqueur, and you mix it in with the mascarpone, you whip it up, and you send it to the 4-H meeting, or you send it to the cow shows or a church group, and people go bananas for it. They're just, oh my gosh, where do you sell that? And I go, oh, we don't. We just played around with it, and there you go. So we had someone call us about a year and a half ago saying, do you make flavored mascarpone? I said, yeah, we can make flavored mascarpone. Well, what flavors do you make? I said, well, we can, you can make all kinds, but I would recommend something that's along a little bit of the chocolate, something that's very savory, creamy. And so we created this particular flavor, and we're very proud of it. Last year at US Cheese Championship, ACS, we made some up and sent it in, and it made the finals. It was one of the finals
Congratulations.
For the overall grand champion. Out of all the cheeses, the chocolate was one of the top 10, and it's really good. And now we're making it under our brand, and we're making it under another, the Real Briati brand that's going to Florida, to Publix, the big retailer in Florida.
Right.
on for the holidays, and we're hoping to get it to stick. They've already increased their orders for the next couple of weeks, so people are putting it in their carts, taking it home, and really enjoying it. So it's a really good flavor. You can put it on your crackers. Again, more of a traditional dessert type of cheese, but here again, you get in the holidays. What can we make that's not overly complicated? You get a few crackers, you pipe it on. Maybe you put a little, maybe you drizzle or cross drizzle a little bit of a cherry or a little bit of a raspberry liqueur over the top of it, or a cherry liqueur, or a sauce sideways on it. And all of a sudden you're a chef, right?
If you were closer, we have a sweet butter pound cake here, and I would pipe this on with a little bit of a raspberry rose petal jam. It'd be heaven.
There you go. There you go. So there's a lot you can do, and that's kind of your base that you can build from. Again, you don't have to take the mascarpone and build up from that. You already have your base right there to build from, and give you a lot of ideas. So really proud of it and very excited about the future of that. We don't roll out new products very often, but when we do, they're usually something we really wait, like the marinated mascarpone, the cheese curd, or the marinated Ciliegini's, the cheese curds. We have jalapeno cheese curds also that are really good. And now with the chocolate mascarpone, that's something we're really proud of and think it has a lot of potential.
Oh, especially the holiday season, and you got Valentine's Day coming, and you roll into Easter. It couldn't be a better time to release it. And with everybody cooking at home, it's going to get great exposure to the consumers.
Right. And we promote it. We promote it online a little bit. We'll do a little bit of a media copy in some of the different trade magazines. Our daughter Roseanne's very active on Facebook, like any kid is, and is very quick to get words out there and to show different recipe ideas. And we really like it. Before we even introduce anything, we always try to have 4 or 5 recipe ideas to back it up, because people always say, what do I do with it? I'm sure you hear that all the time. Yeah, but what do I do with it? Well, you can eat it. For, the chocolate, you get a spoon.
Just like I did with a spoon.
Yeah, that's a really easy way. We won't overcomplicate it. But we always try to come up with some recipe ideas. So when people call, what do I do with it? Or even when we take it to the market or take it to the salespeople or distributors who say, here's what you can do with it. And they, oh, okay. So that always
Tremendously, yes.
Yes.
Well, I'll send you a couple of my recipes. You guys can see what I'll do. I'll play with these next week and send you my recipe ideas.
Good. Love to see them. Love to try them for sure.
George and Debbie, I want to thank you for your time and your busy dairy and cheese making life. And I know it's later in the afternoon, you're getting hungry for dinner. But I just really appreciate the two of you taking time to be on Cheese Chat. And I miss seeing you guys at the Fancy Food Show, American Food Society, everywhere that we see each other. But this is close. This, at least we get to have a voice, and we'll put it up online and other people can watch it and comment, and we'll put your information up. And again, I just really appreciate you taking the time to be part of the Cheese Chats.
Yeah, we're
Happy to.
Yeah.
Wonderful to see you.
Yes.
You both, and my daughter says hi, and let's stay in touch.
Okay.
Yes.
Take care, Sheana.
Enjoy the samples and be happy to hear some of the feedback from some of your friends in the neighborhood there on what do they think of those products.
We're a pretty close pod right now, but I'll let the close people share what they think. My daughter, my husband, and that's about our pod.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you, Debbie and George, and thank you for joining the Cheese Chat. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, good.